Hi everyone. I have an idea for a new Marvel movie that should get put into development. And you've heard of the Marvel Future Avengers TV series? Well, I believe there's a movie should be made for them, should be made about them. And here's the title of what it should be and how it should get made. Marvel Future Avengers Galactic War, the movie. Years passed by since years by passed by since after the Terrigen Rain incident and the invasion of Maximus. Four teenagers with powers that used to work for Hydra, Mikado, Chloe, Addie, and Bruno, saved the world from villains that caused these two incidents and destroyed the Terrigen crystals. Their codenames are called Hurricane, Charade, Kodak, and Twister. The Avengers Hulk, Wasp, Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America took them under their wings and trained them and called their group the Future Avengers. They were now in high school learning about is like what it is like to become a citizen. However, something happened they didn't know. Was shards of the Terrigen crystals were scattered across outer space, landing on different planets, including the planet of the Skrulls and Hala, planet of the Kree. The Skrulls found the shard and showed it to their queen Varanke, leader of the Skrulls. Varanke said, "Analyze this shard and find out where it came from, and find a way to make it useful to help us conquer Earth." Super Skrull said, "I will tell the scientists to do it right away, Your Majesty." Later on Hala, Darben and Yonrog found a shard and showed it to the Supreme Intelligence and told them to do the same things the Skrulls were planning and conquer the Earth. Because they were defeated by the Avengers many times. Both forces of evil decided to team up and come up with a plan to invade and conquer Earth. When Mikado, Chloe, Addie, and Bruno were about to graduate from high school, Mikado said, "I have an idea." Chloe, Addie, and Bruno were listening. He said we should add new members to our team, the Future Avengers. Chloe, Addie, and Bruno said, "What a great idea, let's do it." Later, the Avengers were invited to their high school graduation, only they were coming as their identities: Dr. Bruce Banner, Janet Van Dyne, Steve Rogers, Tony Stark, Carol Danvers, Natasha Romanoff, Clint Barton, Stephen Strange, Sam Wilson, and Hank Pym. Tony Stark decided to do a graduation party for Mikado, Chloe, Addie, and Bruno. He sent invitations to the other Avengers: Spider-Man, Scarlet Witch, Tigra, Wonder Man, Vision, Quicksilver, Spider-Man Miles Morales, She-Hulk, Jewel, Luke Cage, Shang-Chi, Daredevil, Moon Knight, War Machine, and Spectrum, also known as Peter Parker, Wanda Maximoff, Greer Grant Nelson, Simon Williams, Pietro Maximoff, Miles Morales, Jennifer Walters, Jessica Jones, Matthew Murdock, Mark Spector, James Rhodes, and Kamala Khan, also known as Miss Marvel. They didn't know there was a surprise waiting for them back at Avengers Tower. The four kids arrived at the tower. When they got to the top floor, it was dark. They entered the room and the Avengers yelled, "Surprise!" Then the lights came on. They were surprised. Tony told them that this party was for them. They were so happy they hugged Tony. They ended up meeting the other Avengers as they danced, chatted, and played games. They had a great time. Later they got tired and they ended the day. That night, as they were sleeping, the alarm went off and it woke them all with a start. Tony went to see what was going on, and he could not believe his eyes. The others came in the room, and Tony told them it was a call from Nick Fury. He told them that the city was being torn up by the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. Fury told them to go check it out and bring the Future Avengers with them, and keep them busy until the X-Men arrive. Tony said, "We'll do it." He told Mikado, Chloe, Addie, and Bruno about them. They are an evil group of mutants, led by an evil mutant named Magneto. He showed them their files: Magneto, Mystique, Toad, Pyro, Sabretooth, Juggernaut, Blob, Eunice, Astra, Mastermind, Lorelei, Black Bishop, Elixir, Exodus, Avalanche, and Marrow. After reading them, they went on to the Quinjet and searched the city and found Juggernaut tearing up small buildings. They had the Hulk and Addie take on Juggernaut. They had Chloe and Wasp take on Mystique and Lorelei. They had Mikado, Thor, and Captain America take on Toad, Mastermind, and Blob. Bruno took on Astra, while the other Avengers took them all on. They almost got defeated until the X-Jets showed up, and the Brotherhood was defeated and got thrown in prison in the raft. The next morning, Mikado had an announcement to make with the Avengers to tell them about his idea. Mikado said, "We need to add new members to our group, the Future Avengers. I think that's a great idea." Tony said, "When do we start?" asked Wasp. "We should start by putting up an ad on the internet so people from all over the world will know about it," said Chloe. "Please have them send emails to us," said Addie, "and have them come to Avengers Tower," said Bruno. "We start right now," said Mikado. "What should the ads say?" asked Tony. "The ad should say this: does anyone want to join the Future Avengers? If you want to join, email us at Avengers Tower," said Mikado. The ad was placed on the internet, and now they waited for responses. From teenagers who graduated from high school. The Avengers told them to be careful of some emails. Some of them could be villains pretending to be teenagers and trick you. Mikado and his friends understood and became aware of them. Tony had Friday make sure that if when they get emails to not be from the villains. Meanwhile, on the planets of the Skrulls and the Kree, they figured out about the crystals and where they came from. They came from Earth. Both kingdoms found ways to use them. They made their soldiers stronger, weapons more powerful, and their systems on their ships a more powerful power source. Back on Earth, Wasp told Mikado that his ad he put on the internet worked. She told him they received over 50 emails from different places all over the world. Mikado was so excited that he wanted to tell his friends. Wasp said, "Go ahead and tell them and bring them to the computer room." He went to get them and they got excited too. They all got ready to read the emails. The first one was from a boy from Osaka, Japan, and it said, "Dear Mikado, Konnichiwa. My name is Tora Chan. I saw your ad and I have been fighting tons of crime here in Japan, and I wish to join your group. I am 18 years old and just graduated recently. You won't believe what my powers are. My favorite Avenger is Tigra, and I have been wanting to meet her. My parents want me to go to America and train with the Avengers, but the law won't let me leave. They're going to arrest me. I really need your help from Need your help from Tora Chan. Mikado didn't like the sound of that. Neither did Wasp. There was a PS that said he will meet them at an abandoned parking garage on the rooftop. Wasp and Mikado had to take the Quinjet and go get him before it was too late. Mikado sent an email to Tora Chan saying they will be right there as soon as possible. The Quinjet was ready for takeoff, and Wasp, Mikado, and Iron Man set off for Osaka, Japan. When they got there, they were too late. The police found him first, only to discover they were not police at all. They were henchmen of the evil criminal, the Silver Samurai, disguised as them. They landed on the roof and rescued him and defeated them. Tora Chen was unconscious and brought aboard the jet and went back to New York. They nursed him back to health, and they found out he experimented on himself. He was a humanoid liger. He explained that he was experimenting with a serum with lion DNA and tiger DNA. He was trying to get better at chemistry after high school while he was working. After high school, while he was working on his experiment and accidentally cut himself, then the serum spilled all over where he cut himself and turned him into a humanoid liger. His powers were super strength, camouflage, night vision, and super hearing. His codename was Ligerman. The second email was from a girl from Mumbai, India. Dear Addie, Namaste. My name is Neera Devi, and my twin sister's name is Ruth Devi. We saw your friend Mikado's ad, and we want to join your group, but there's one problem. We're being experimented on by our father, who's a mad scientist. We have powers that we're really having trouble controlling them. I want to ask you a favor. Can you please come and turn our father over to the authorities and rescue us? We are both 19 years old. We really need your help. From Neera Devi. Addie didn't like the sound of that. The looks of what was typed in the email. Twin sisters being experimented on by their own father? Now that is something. Addie said, I need to tell the Avengers about it right now. He went to tell them about what was typed in the email. Steve Rogers and Tony Stark couldn't believe their ears. Tony got up and told Friday to track that email and find out where it came from. Friday said it came from Mumbai, India, in a laboratory that does illegal experiments. Tony asked, how long has those experiments been going on in that lab? Friday told them that it's been going on for 11 months. Tony got all the Avengers together for an emergency meeting. They all gathered in the meeting room, and Tony told them all what Addie had read in that email. That's terrible, said Janet. I don't believe this, said Hulk. Who'd do such a thing? Such a terrible thing. It's madness, said Thor. Tony said, don't get your thunder in an uproar, Thor. We are going to need a plan to rescue those twins from that lab, said Tony. They got the Quinjet ready and took off for Mumbai, India. They had a plan and they all sprang into action. Black Widow and Hulk took out the guards and the lab's defenses. Iron Man and Wasp stormed the lab with Adi, and all the test subjects warned them it was a trap. Adi managed to hack the lab's servers and disabled the trap, along with the prison cell doors. All the subjects have escaped, and they found the twins. When Adi saw them, they were very beautiful girls. They informed the police and arrested their father. The twins were so happy that they kissed Adi on both cheeks. Adi blushed and said, "Oh, shucks." Back at Avengers Tower, they examined the twins' powers were unbelievable. Neera Davy, whenever she danced, she manipulated gravity. Ruth Davy, whenever she danced, she controlled plants. They don't have code names. They would work on their code names. Tony that 30 discovered that 30 of those emails were actually pop-up spam scams and viruses. So he deleted those emails. The twins explained that their father worked for the AIM terrorist group. He was getting worked. He was getting paid by them to continue his work. The fourth was from email was from Seattle, was from a boy from Seattle, Washington. Dear Chloe, hello, my name is Rocky Ranger. I saw your friend's ad and would like to join your team. My favorite Avenger is Ant-Man. My powers are similar to his own. I am 18 years old and barely graduated, and I am coming to New York by train to meet at the station. My code name is Kid Insect. They went to meet him at Grand Central Station. They arrived and waited for him. When he arrived, he was wearing a trench coat and a fedora with sunglasses. And he saw Chloe, Steve Rogers, and Mikado. He couldn't believe his eyes that he was meeting two of the future Avengers and the first Avenger in person. He told them the similar powers to Ant-Man. He can communicate with flying insects and super strength and built a suit similar to his. A few days later, the twins trained really well and got control over their powers. Then they got code names. Neera's code name was Gravitera, and Roots is called Captain Flora. Little did they know is that Franklin Hall broke out of prison and went on a rampage. When they heard the explosion, they went to check it out. Tony explained to the new recruits about him and his codename Graviton, Master of Gravity. Hurricane, Twister, Charade, Kodak, Ligerman, Gravitera, Captain Flora, and Kid Insect were ready to take him on. Gravitera had a plan. She would keep him busy along with Twister. While the other Avengers rescued stranded and injured people, Gravitera told Graviton this. Too bad you have no idea that there is a mistress of gravity other than you. Graviton said, "You have insulted my power. Now I will crush you." Gravitera said, "Bring it on, Master of Gravity, if you are one." Graviton, insulted by all those words, drew his attention to the future Avengers. They all managed to defeat Graviton and put him back on the raft. Graviton vowed he would have his revenge on the future Avengers and Gravitera. The fifth email was from a boy from Sydney, Australia. Dear Addie, g'day mate. My name's Gus Madden. I saw the ad and I will gladly join your team. My powers are very powerful and I want to show you. Boyza. But I have a problem. A villain that the Avengers fought before is here pursuing me because I foiled his attempt, a jailbreak. His attempt to a jailbreak. His attempt to try a jailbreak. Please help me stop him. I sent pictures so you will see what he looks like. He's brown, covered in spikes, really strong, and twice as angry, Tony said. Sounds like the Abomination broke out. Addie asked, Who's the Abomination? Tony explained on the way to Sydney, Australia. Addie said, That's one ugly dude. They arrived and Kodak, Hulk, Ligerman, Gravitera, and Kid Insect went to take them on. They blocked him because he trapped Gus in an alley. He said, Out of my way. The Hulk said, I think not, Blonsky. They fought the Abomination and knocked him out. They rescued Gus, and he's 18 years old. And his powers affected his body, turning him into a humanoid kangaroo. Gus explained he was born with these powers, like that, and has the jumping, speed, kickboxing tail of a kangaroo, and the tail of a kangaroo, and he even had extra skin on his belly. He doesn't have a code name. The Avengers will work on that part. The sixth email was from a girl in London, England. Dear Mikado, hello, my name is Susan Popplewell. I am 19 years old. I saw the ad and decided to join your group. My powers are the same as Doctor Strange. I'm taking an airplane to New York City. Can you come and meet me at JFK National Airport? My code name is Lady Sorceress. They decided to go to the airport and wait for her. When they arrived, Mikado, Chloe, Carol Danvers, and Stephen Strange waited for her arrival. She arrived wearing a hoodie covering her face. They asked to remove the hood, and when they saw she had a scar on the left side of her face, they asked, How did you get that? She said, I got it while training in the London Sanctum. It turned out she's a very beautiful sorceress and was sent to be trained by Doctor Strange. Mikado gladly welcomed her to New York. Doctor Strange got the suspicion somebody hurt Susan, so he had her come to the Sanctum Sanctorum, and he agreed he would train her. He asked, How did you really get that scar on your face? Susan said, I really got it from a dangerous villain. He asked, Who did it? She told him it was Baron Mordo. He said, Mordo, I should have known he did this. He told Susan that he would inform Wong and the Avengers that Baron Mordo is on his way to New York. He informed them about how she really got the scar and Baron Mordo's arrival. They got ready for battle against him and waited for him at the sanctum. Wong showed up. Clea, Doctor Strange's girlfriend, along with Scarlet Witch. When Baron Mordo arrived at the New York Sanctum, he went inside and went looking for Susan Popplewell. He found her and got ready to attack. Then Stephen said, Now! They all attacked Mordo's monsters that he summoned from the Dark Dimension. And Doctor Strange said, Mordo, what gives you the right to harm a new sorcerer? Mordo said, I have the right to harm anyone I want, including you and your friends. Mordo said, Now I will destroy you. Doctor Strange said, "Bring it on, Baron Mordo." They fought him and eventually defeated him and locked him up on the raft. He said as they arrested him, "I will get you for this." Gus Mann's training came out great, so great that he earned a code name, the Red Roo Boss. The other emails were people making fun of the group and those that didn't like them. Tony got rid of those emails as well. Doctor Strange couldn't train Susan alone, so he needed help from Wong and Clea. He asked them and they said yes. The seventh email was from a girl in Quito, Ecuador. "Dear Chloe, hola. My name is Francesca Cortez. I saw your Amigos ad and I want to come join the Future Avengers. I am 19 years old and you won't believe what my powers are like. My favorite Avenger is Miss America. I don't have a code name. I am coming to New York by plane. Can you meet me at the airport? The Avengers, Chloe, Clint Barton, Janet Van Dyne, and Thor went to go and meet her there. When she arrived, Francesca Cortez was wearing a shawl and a headscarf for a disguise, plus sunglasses. She was excited to meet them in person. On their way to the tower, Francesca explained how she got her powers. She got them from a similar experiment, except with scorpions. Basically, like how Peter Parker got his powers. When they arrived at the tower, they got her into the lab and they told her to show her powers to them. She transformed herself into a half human and half scorpion, basically half a human on a scorpion's body with arms and pincers on where the lower arms are at. She could sting with the tail and stun enemies with it, and has super strength. Tony said, "Very incredible powers." Janet said, "I had no idea they thought of genetically designed super scorpions." Chloe said, "Similar experiments just like at Oscorp Labs. They will work on giving her a code name." The eighth email was from a boy in Anchorage, Alaska. "Dear Chloe, hello, my name is Devin Dalton. I saw the ad and I want to join the Future Avengers. I have powers that can cause earthquakes and sandstorms. My favorite Avenger is Quake. I am 18 years old and my code name is Rockstorm. I'm in real trouble. A dangerous villain is attacking me. And I want you to come and get me. The villain that's after me is Hydro Man. He needs to be stopped." Chloe didn't like what was typed in the email. The Avengers got the Quinjet ready and took off toward Anchorage, Alaska. On the way, Tony explained about Hydro Man, how he got his powers. As they arrived, they got ready to take him on. Captain Flora had a plan to stop Hydro Man. She would try to contain him in a giant flower that catches water and contains it until the Avengers can put him in a crate full of liquid nitrogen. The plan almost failed, but they managed to contain him and defeat him. As he was being captured, he wanted revenge against Captain Flora and the new recruit Rockstorm. After Hydro Man was locked up on the raft, Devin explained how he got his powers. He accidentally fell into an experimental collider full of rocks and sand, causing his body to become one with both rocks and sand. He could generate earthquakes, sending seismic waves from his hands and feet, super strength, make armor around his body. and morph into sand like the Sandman. Tony said, "Very interesting." Clint said, "Similar powers to the heroine Quake and the villain Sandman. Very unusual." The ninth email was from a girl in Moscow, Russia. "Dear Mikado, Privet. My name is Tatiana Kuznetsov. I saw your ad and I want to join the Future Avengers. My powers are very unbelievable, and I am 18 years old and I am coming to New York by plane. Can you come meet me at the airport? From Tatiana Kuznetsov. My code name is called the Glacier Queen." Mikado and the Avengers took off for the airport and wait for Tatiana's arrival. When Tatiana arrived, she was wearing a trench coat and a hoodie. They asked, "Are you Tatiana Kuznetsov?" She replied, "Yes, I am." Mikado said, "Welcome to New York." On the way, Tatiana explained how she got her powers. She said, "I was born with these powers." She was a humanoid white Siberian tiger. Her powers were super strength, ice powers, camouflage. She can survive in both hot and cold temperatures, night vision, and swimming speed, plus forming glaciers. Francesca trained really well with her powers, that she earned her code name, the Scorpion Queen. Meanwhile, back on Tarnax and Hala, preparations for battle to conquer Earth, the Earth were just about complete. However, they were being spied on by Drax, the Destroyer, Gamora, Rocket Raccoon, and Groot. Drax said, "Uh-oh, trouble's brewing." Gamora said, "They're using the Terrigen crystals to make their technology grow and army ranks stronger and make ships far more advanced." Rocket said, "That's not good." Groot said, "I am Groot." They went to Nowhere, headquarters of the Guardians of the Galaxy. They informed Star-Lord about what the Skrulls and the Kree were planning. He said, "What? We have to warn the Avengers about this war." They had to prepare for this war, and they got started. The 10th email was from a boy in Cairo, Egypt. "Dear Mikado, Salamu Alaikum. My name is Shishak Mumford. I am 18 years old. I saw your ad and I want to join the Future Avengers. My powers are the same as Living Mummy. They are super strength, rock hard body, and immortality. My code name is Moon Statue. My extra power is shooting moonbeams from my eyes and hands. I am coming to New York by plane. Can you come and meet me at the airport?" From Shishak Mumford. They went to the airport to wait for his arrival. His flight got delayed for the arrival of a dangerous villain. He informed Mikado and the Avengers to come and get him because his flight got delayed due to the arrival of the villain Blizzard. They got the Quinjet ready and set off for Egypt. When they got there, they went and confronted Blizzard. They found Shishak Mumford and defeated Blizzard. Shishak explained how he got his powers. He got his powers granted by the gods of Egypt. The 11th email was from a girl in Frankfurt, Germany. "Dear Chloe, Guten Tag. My name is Ursula Grimm. I saw your friend's ad and I want to join the Future Avengers. My powers are beyond belief. Can you come and help me? The Dark Elves have invaded my home city." They got the Quinjet ready and took off for Frankfurt, Germany. The Dark Elves were searching for her because she's half elf and a Valkyrie. She flagged down the Quinjet. The Avengers came down and battled the Dark Elves and sent them back to their realm. On the way back, Ursula Grimm explained about herself. She was born half and half. Her mom was a Valkyrie, and her father was a dark elf. She's 19 years old. My powers, her powers are that she's a skilled archer, super strength, and power to create light arrows and spears. She was sent to Earth to be raised by a human family. Her code name is the Angel Elf. The 12th email was from a girl in Normandy, France. Dear Addie, bonjour. My name is Scarlett Houghton. I am 19 years old. I saw your friend's ad and I really want to join the Future Avengers. You won't believe what my powers are capable of fighting crime. I am coming to New York by plane. Can you come and meet me at the airport? They went to the airport to wait for Scarlett's arrival. When they got there, Scarlett showed up wearing a trench coat and a headscarf. She saw them and went to greet them. Her appearance was that she was a Skrull girl. Her powers were shape-shifting, radical changes in size, shape, and color. Lifespan reaches 200-year average, plus super strength. She was raised by a human family. She never knew her real parents. All she remembered was that she was sent to Earth to defend the planet from the forces of evil. Mikado counted the new members of the Future Avengers. The count was 12 members. Ursula Grimm trained really well and earned a codename. It was called the Universal Skrull. They made a big discovery about Scarlett's powers. She also had immortality, photon beam, elasticity, indestructible body, and electricity powers. As they trained the new recruits, they got a call from Nick Fury. He said, I got an urgent call from the Guardians of the Galaxy. Tony asked, what's going on? Nick Fury said, they're warning us that the Skrulls and the Kree found shards of the Terrigen crystals, and they're using them to start a war with Earth and conquer the planet. Tony said, that's not good. Wasp said, not good at all. Mikado said, we must make preparations and inform the X-Men, Fantastic Four, West Coast Avengers, Great Lakes Avengers, Black Panther, Iron Fist, Inhumans, Wong Kamatage, the Asgardians, and all the heroes from around the world. Tony asked, when will they arrive? He said, they will arrive in 4 months. Tony said, we will start preparations and inform the others to spread the word now. Wasp said, thank you for telling us. They ended the call and got to work. The new recruits learned about them and started preparing for war. Later, when all the heroes were informed, they all got ready. When they arrived, they attacked New York, which was the Skrull and the Kree. And they fought them, but they were outnumbered. Luckily, they escaped to Wakanda, where T'Challa was waiting for them. They landed their ships, and Varanki and Darban brought their armies, held their positions. As all the Avengers and everyone else were ready, Captain America said, Avengers, assemble! Mikado said, Future Avengers, assemble! Black Panther said, Wakanda forever! And Thor said, for Asgard! The Guardians of the Galaxy and the Ravagers arrived as well. They charged into battle. The battle was terrible. They were fighting super soldiers, super weapons, and really powerful leaders. They almost lost, but they figured out the weaknesses and managed to defeat the Skrull and the Kree and send them back to their home planets. They all cheered because they were victorious. Later, they rebuilt New York and had a big celebration. A lot of dancing and a big speech was to happen. Tony said, I would like to thank all the Avengers and everyone else, including the Future Avengers, for a victorious battle against the Kree, against the Skrull and the Kree, and a toast to everyone here and around the world. Mikado gave a speech that said, I would like to thank all of my friends for joining the Future Avengers and save the world from total destruction. They all clapped and cheered happily and enjoyed the fun. All of them went on vacation to their favorite places a month later. And that's how it ends. A plot twist happens. Thanos discovered a shard and had an idea on how to conquer other worlds because he heard about the Future Avengers and said this, enjoy your victory while you can. One day your planet will be conquered by the Great Titan. Galactus and Dormammu said the same thing, except Galactus said, your planet will be devoured. And here's the cast that should end up in this movie. The cast of the American version of the Future Avengers TV series, the cast of X-Men Evolution TV series, and the Fantastic Four 2015 movie. I really think this is a really great idea, and I believe it should happen. I recommend you talk to people about it in person, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, Reddit, Skype, TikTok, Fandango, Screen Rant, comic book resources, and video chat with people about it. Bye for now. Until next time, I think of another movie that should get put into development. Please remember to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel and share my videos on social media and share via messaging and email too. Don't forget to check out my playlists. Also, I made other videos of different that I made up of movies that should get put into development are those that I made up. And I recommend you check them out. And also, I made a video for the 12 heroes that I made up that should be part of the Avengers. And should be part of the Marvel franchise. And also, I made a video of how the Future Avengers television series deserves a reboot. And I believe it should happen.